Hey, welcome back to your favorite Fundamentals of College math class. We're going to take a look at the mathematics behind payments and loans, car financing, that kind of stuff today. So, the mathematics of financing a car, if you choose to finance a car. A loan that an installment loan is a loan that you pay off with weekly, monthly payments, some time period. Right? So, we're going to look first at fixed installment loans, car loans. Here's our equation, okay? Now I'm going to use the financial calculator that I showed you guys earlier. All right, suppose you decide to borrow $20,000 for a new car, and you have these two options for loans. Loan A could be a 3-year loan at 7%. The other option is a 5-year loan at 9%. Part A, we're going to find the monthly payments and the total interest for each loan, and then compare the two. Okay. So let's do loan A first. Now for a loan, the present value is how much you're borrowing. So you're borrowing $20,000 from the bank. We're going to find what our payment is, but the future value is how much we owe the bank at the end of the loan. So we're going to owe the bank nothing because we're going to own the car at the end of, in this case, we're going to do a 3-year loan at 7%. Okay, we're going to have these monthly payments. So 7% is our rate. And then this is N times T. So monthly, 3 years. So we got 36 here. 7% right up there. So 36 periods. This is monthly compound. And then the mode is end. Keep it on end. Okay. And we'll go ahead and we'll take a look and see what our payment is. Let's go to fncalculator.com, click on time value of money, the $20,000 loan. Our future value will be 0. That's at the end of the 36 months, we will owe nothing. So the annual rate is 7%. Make sure that's monthly. You're on end. Click on payment. 6754. Paying 617.54. Okay. So, in fact, let me make a little chart here. We're doing a $20,000 loan. First option is 3-year at 7%, and our payment is 617.54. So about 618. So we'll go with 618. Okay. So the total interest, I'm gonna go straight to the total interest. The total interest then on this. So if you think about on this loan, I'm making 36 payments of 617.54. So I made 36 payments, and I'm going to approximate that at 618. Okay. So that's how much I actually pay for the car. So 36 times 618 is 2248. So 22,248. Okay, so we made 36 payments at 618. This is my interest on this thing. Subtract it from the 20 because I got to keep the car. So I paid an extra 2,248. So you take your payments times how many of those payments you made and subtract it from the loan. Because you remember, you get to keep the car. You get to keep the $20,000 car. So the total interest was $2,248. Okay. Now let's compare that to loan B. Let's do in red. Let me erase this other one here. Okay, so loan B. Now this is 5-year at 9%. So present value when you're doing a loan, this is how much you take the loan out for. So it's $20,000 loan. We're going to figure out the payment. We're going to click that button. The future value of the loan is 0. At the end of 5 years, we owe nothing. That's the future value there. The rate on this loan is 9%. The periods, compounds monthly. The mode is end. The periods on this, n times t, 12, but we're doing it for 5 years, so 60 payments. Let's do that. We go to our financial calculator. So $20,000 loan. We future value at the end of the loan, value 0. This is a 9% loan. 5 years, 5 times 12. Make sure you're on monthly right there. Make sure you're on end. What's your payment? 415.17. So 415.17. So that's about 415. We'll go with 415. So we make 60 payments, 5 years, 12 times a year, 5 times 12, 60, of $415. That's what we really paid. Right? So if you're figuring out your interest, you say, well, I didn't pay 20,000 for this. I paid a lot more than that. I made 60 payments of $415. So what did I pay? Because I did get to keep the $20,000 car. So you go 60 times 415, and you get 24,900. So 4,900 is how much interest you pay the bank. That's how much extra you pay. All right, so if you're looking at this, you're like, well, it looks like compare the monthly payments. Well, loan B has lower monthly payments. It's only 415, but the interest is a lot higher. It's $4,900 that you're paying over, above, and beyond the $20,000. Right? You're paying 4,900 extra to the bank. That's why you see those big, beautiful banks, the nicest buildings in the city, oftentimes, right? And total interest for the other one was lower, right? 22.48. So the better deal, is to get that 3-year loan at 7%. Even though the amount is higher, it's a better deal. You're only paying 22.48. You want to keep in mind, frankly, broke people think, how much is my down payment and how much am I paying a month? What you really want to think is, what rich people think is, how much? How much am I paying total for the car? Right? That's what you want to think about. You want to understand the mathematics enough that you can make a good, solid decision based on your personal finances. Okay. Here it is with the formula if you choose to go that route. All right, a little vocabulary here. Leasing. Leasing is the practice of paying a specified amount of money over a specified time for the use of a product. It's really, you're just leasing, you're renting, right? You're renting a car. Beloved. blue back here. A closed-end lease. So this is where you make a fixed payment based on estimated usage. When it ends, you return the car and you pay for mileage in excess of your estimate. I'll let you read through the open-ended lease, but that's essentially where you're you consider the residual value or the estimated resale value at the end of the lease. Leases require small, here's the perceived advantages to leases. Small down payment or no down payment at all. They're oftentimes the the lease payments are typically less than a loan. Of course, you return the car, right? So you don't get the car, you're just renting the car. And any way you look at it, they're still going to make their money. I'm not a big fan of leases myself, but some people love to have a nice new car that they don't have to worry about fixes with. So most people, most financial planners, when they run the mathematics behind it, it's not typically advantageous. It's not advantageous because there's some big disadvantages. You don't own the car. You have mileage limits, right? With possibly considerable charges, and mileage penalties for that. Total cost of leasing, I won't say almost always more, but like I said, it probably all the time more expensive than financing a car unless you get screwed over when you finance a car. Well, while leasing the car, you got to keep that thing in perfect condition. You're still liable for damage, right? So you got to cover your own maintenance, and there's penalties for ending the lease. Auto insurance. So there's two types of liability coverage. There's bodily injury liability and then property damage liability. So you can let you read through each of those. You also have collision coverage, which pays for the damage or loss of your car if you're in an accident. Comprehensive coverage, where you pay more, protects your car from perils such as fire, theft, falling objects, nature, collision with an animal, any comprehensive, right? Or if the other insurer who is at fault does not pay. So let's look at this situation here. Another example, mathematics. Suppose you're thinking about buying a car and narrow down two choices. So do you want to buy a car, a new car? Here's your new car option. $25,000. It can be financed with a 4-year loan at 7.9%. So let's do the new car. Okay, we're going to finance. So 24. So when you're taking a loan out, remember how much it is up here in the present value. This is how much you're borrowing, $25,000. We're going to figure out this payment here. We're going to click that button. The future value of the loan is 0 at the end of in this case, it's a 4-year loan. So 4 times 12, 48 payments you're going to make. That's 7.9% on this thing. Okay, so 4 payments, 7.9%. So I'm going to go ahead and punch that in. 1,000, 7.9, 48. Future value 0. 7.9 is the interest rate. We're doing this for 4 years, 12 months a year. Make sure you're on monthly. Make sure you're on end. Payment 609.15. 609.15. Let's go ahead. Let's make a little table here. The new car, $25,000 loan, 4 years, 4 years at 7.9%. And this payment. So the loan payment 609.15. So approximately 609. Okay. Now let's do used car option. So the used car option, $14,000 is what we're going to finance. Gonna owe nothing eventually, so future value is what you owe at the end of the term. This rate is 8.45. This is for 4 years as well. So 48. Let me punch this in my phone here on my app. You get negative 344.75. So this is the used one, $14,000 loan, 4 years at 8.45. The payment is 344.75. So if I round that to the nearest dollar, 345 bucks, right? So what's the difference in monthly payments? What's the difference in monthly payments? Well, 609 minus 345 or $264 difference in payments, right? Let's keep going here. This is just a walkthrough of that as well. So cars, as you've probably found out over the years, as have I, they're a huge expense, right? They're a money pit. You've got fuel expenses, maintenance, tires, tolls, parking, cleaning, all that stuff, right? Insurance, licensing, registration, fees, all that. So this is from AAA. They do this every year. This is from 2016. For a small sedan, they've calculated that the average cost per mile is 44.9 cents compared to a medium sedan, minivan, and large sedan, 71 cents. In fact, a truck is a little bit more than that. They usually will put a column here for a truck as well. So you know it can be substantial. This is your yearly cost based on 15,000 miles. You drive a little old Honda Civic like me type of deal, and you got the 6729 per year. You drive a large sedan or a truck, and you're up at around $11,000 per year, considering everything. So that can be a substantial difference what you drive. All right, let's calculate some annual fuel expenses for uh, for an example here. Suppose you drive 24,000 miles per year. Gas averages $4 per gallon. I'm going to do hybrid first. You know what? I'm going to do it in green for a green old hybrid here. What will you save in annual fuel expenses by owning a hybrid car averaging 50 miles per gallon rather than an SUV averaging 12 miles per gallon? Well, first of all, let's do the hybrid here. Hybrid. All right, number one, how many gallons do we use every year? So take your 24,000 miles and divide it by the miles per gallon that you average with your hybrid. Hybrid is 50 miles per gallon. So divided by 50 miles per gallon. And that'll end up with 24,000 divided by 50. That'll be 480 gallons of gas that you use every year. So number two, if you use, what's the cost? Well, 480 gallons times $4 per gallon, and you've got $1,920 in annual fuel expenses for that hybrid. Okay, 1,920. Now let's compare that to the SUV. To the SUV. Let me get my blue out. So the SUV, how many gallons? First of all, we drive 24,000 miles, but it only gets the SUV 12 miles per gallon, 12 miles per gallon. 24,000 divided by 12 gives us 2,000 gallons of gas that you use every year. So the cost would be the 2,000 gallons times, we're going to assume gas is $4 per gallon. I know it's way cheaper than that right now, but always changing. That's $8,000 to drive in fuel costs. Annual fuel expense to drive the SUV. Okay. So how much will you save? Well, 8,000 minus 1920. Looks like we have 6,080. I'm going to have to erase some of this here. 8,000 minus 1920, 6,080. So hybrid versus SUV. The SUV was $8,000. A hybrid cost 1920, I believe it was. So I would save in gasoline costs, fuel costs, 6,080 per year. Per year is how much I would save. All right, part B. If you deposit your monthly fuel savings at the end of each month into an annuity, okay, so monthly that would be, so that's the savings. So 6,080, if I was to divide that into 12, so every month I'm saving 506.67. We'll round that to 507. So we're saving $507 every month, and then we're going to invest that instead into an annuity. Pays 7.3% compounded monthly for 6 years. So we're starting with nothing. We're making a payment of 507. What's the future value of this annuity when I'm getting a rate of 7.3%, periods, and this is compounding monthly. Remember, periods is n times t, so 12 monthly compound here, 12 times 6, we got 72 payments I'm going to make. We're going to make it 12 times a year for 6 years. 12 times 6, we got 72. Go ahead and punch that in, and you get 45,634 you could save by investing that money rather than wasting it on gas. Pretty crazy there, at least in this scenario with pretty expensive $4 gas situation. Okay, and there's your workout. Appreciate you guys listening so much. Hope you learned a thing or two about financing. I hope most of all that you learned that financing kind of sucks because you give the bank all your money. So try not to finance and pay cash instead whenever possible. See you guys next time.